Yeah, it has started recording now. So yes, for all of you, let me just brief you. I'm sure you guys were dealing with this situation almost at around the same time. So from March 17th, we haven't really seen our students. In fact, until June or July, we were also not coming to campus because the lockdown and all the other measures were pretty strict. We were all working from home. um, we can't really claim or say, oh, what we've done so far is successful, but we are just evolving with the current situation. That is what we are all at. What was done as part of this entire a problem was that we were asked to form a COVID-19 grievance cell. That is where it all started. So it initially had 5 faculty members, one of whom eventually, is no longer with MSA. So there are 4 of us now. There is myself, there is Balaji sir, there is Nishchita, who's a structures faculty, and another second year faculty by the name Surabhi. So the 4 of us have sort of worked together to come up with protocols, look at various documents which are released by the University Grants Commission, the UGC, the state government, and the university. And all of us come under VTU, Vishwesvaraya Technological University. So these are the 3 main governing bodies who keep regularly releasing, a series of instructions, guidelines, as and when the situation in the country about COVID-19 is changing. Newer guidelines keep coming up. So we keep abreast with it, and then we make the changes within our protocols, and then we inform the students and the faculty about it. So that has been our responsibility over the past 6 to 8 months. And of course, you guys must have had the experience of a campus. An architecture school and an architectural campus is very, very different from anything that you've experienced or seen before. We can say that confidently. It is a very creative profession which thrives on one-on-one interaction. So nothing really can compensate for that. And nothing can compensate for sitting in the studios and working and sketching and any of that we usually tend to do. But under current circumstances, we are trying to do the best we can, as I'm sure most other colleges are. And to make things a little easier and smoother and to have a set of uniformity across the years, there are certain guidelines and protocols that we have come up with, right? There is one set of protocols which basically deals with online classes as to what platform we'll use and how do we take attendance and all of those things. There is another set of guidelines which were prepared for the off chance that the campus would be open to students. Even now, the campus is open for all the teaching and non-teaching staff, but it is not yet open to students except for final year students. And there are a lot of strict regulations that are there in place even for final year students to come on campus. Some of you might have visited the college with your parents and guardians, or you might have come on your own, to take care of some of the admission formalities. So we thought this is the right time to tell you guys as to, there are certain COVID appropriate behaviors that we have listed down, and which would be nice if, not nice, it is essential. All of us as the responsible people should be following almost all of these. Now, again, I would like to tell that I think all of us have been overexposed to COVID news. So there isn't anything new that me or Balaji sir can say in this meeting which you guys don't already know about. We all know that we are supposed to sneeze into our elbow, we are supposed to wear a mask, we are supposed to maintain 6 feet distance from anybody whom we don't know or whom we are not living with, try not to travel in public transport, don't eat out, don't go out on vacations, don't go to extremely crowded places. All of us know this, the government has done a fairly decent job of hammering us with this information. But there are certain things which we have incorporated. And let me stress on this fact again, that this was done after looking at the recommendations that had come from UGC, which is the University Grants Commission at the national level, the state government of Karnataka, in our case, and Vishwesvaraya Technological University. In some cases, we have even looked at the announcements that are made at the district level by the district collector, which are applicable to Mysore district, and then we have worked on these protocols. So allow me something to you guys. This is in case you are allowed to come on campus. We still don't know when that will happen. So for all practical purposes, your classes will be conducted online. But in the off chance that you had to visit the campus, either for some administrative work or whatever, most of these protocols will be applicable to you guys. So I will just share my screen and we can go through it. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is coming through.
Yeah. Let me know, Balaji, when I can start.
It's on, Shruti.
It's on? Okay. This was done after from 17th November onwards, I think, when the campus was decided that it would be open to students. Like I told you, only for final year students. So there were certain guidelines which had come from the government, and we had prepared a protocol for our college. Students, till now, whoever has been allowed to come to college, it is not yet compulsory because few people might have very sensitive age groups living with them at home. You might have parents who are older, or you might have parents who might have tested positive and are recovering, whatever is the situation. So only students who had opted to come on campus, these rules are applicable to them, right? First of all, the government insisted on a COVID negative test. So all have to go and get themselves tested. That was the protocol which was asked to follow. So there were a couple of students who wanted to come to campus and they did go and get their COVID tests done. In fact, everybody on campus, all the teaching and non-teaching faculty also had to go and get COVID tests done, which all of us did. And luckily, everybody at MSA tested COVID negative. And this had to be procured at least 3 days before they started coming to campus. They had also told us that we have to get the RT-PCR test done, which is the more accurate form of test. After that is something that all of you are kind of aware of, a physical distancing of 6 feet to be followed at all given times. Constantly wearing a face mask or a cover is absolutely mandatory as long as you're on campus. That is that is an absolute non-negotiable. So all of you have to be very careful of that whenever you do come to campus. Frequent hand washing, I think this is more for our own safety than anybody else's. So initially when we had just started coming to college, or when we did manage to conduct a few offline exams, there used to be a bell they used to ring every 1 hour so that we all are reminded to go and wash our hands, preferably with soap, but under extreme circumstances, if you do not have access to soap, then sanitizer would be there. Regular use of alcohol-based sanitizers as recommended by the government. It talks about 60% or 80% alcohol, concentration, and then you're supposed to use the appropriate ones. Basic respiratory etiquettes have to be followed. In case any of us have to let out a cough or a sneeze or whatever, we should always do it into our elbow or cover it, have a kerchief cover our face and do it. Constantly, if we are using tissues, we have to dispose it appropriately, not just throw it around here and there. I mean, this might sound silly that I'm telling you all this, but you'll be surprised to know as to how many people don't do it. Okay. We come across such people every single day. So these are basic respiratory etiquettes, which kids are taught in, I think, I don't know, kindergarten perhaps, but somehow as adults, we forget this. That is why we had to put it in the protocol. And it is a good habit to constantly keep monitoring your health under current circumstances. Just don't obsess over it, but just keep checking your temperature. If you have a pulse oximeter at home, which I think a lot of us did purchase, so just check your oxygen levels constantly, once in 3 days or once in 4 days, whenever it is. Just be aware of whatever, symptoms that might show up. Then spitting, of course, is a disgusting habit. We shouldn't be doing it anyways. Definitely not under when we are under COVID situation, right? Students and staff were advised not to go to areas which fall under contamination zone or containment zones. This was done because sometimes what happens is we have to go out to shop for something, or we have to go out to buy something. We should just stay away from containment zone, because even now there is a lot of research going on this disease, and we don't really know how some people are getting infected. Because you might have heard people saying ki, oh, I did not know how I got it because nobody from my family had it. So it must have been one visit to the shop where somebody else who had tested positive had come, or something like that. So the safest would be to not go into containment zones at all. Or if you're aware of somebody in some family having tested positive, refrain yourself from visiting them until they are recovered and they are no longer infectious. Next was, try not to, one advice that was given is because your final year seniors have already spent 4 years with each other, right? So one of the things was there was a possibility that they might tend to come to college with their friends, 3-4 people coming together and all of that. So we told them that crowding must be absolutely avoided, because of course at this point of time we were expecting a lot more people to come, but only 2 of them signed up to come. This was a strict thing that was given, ki all employees who are at higher risk, because we do have certain older professors working here at MSA, or anybody who's expecting, or any other employees who have any other serious medical underlying conditions, they were given the exception and they were allowed to work from home, because we did not really want to put them into risk by getting them to college if there was, in that off chance that they were to catch the infection in college. Even when there were certain duties, when students come, we have to discuss with them. Or while we were conducting exams, we were invigilating, we were trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly. People who were at risk were not given these responsibilities at all. They were told that they shouldn't come in direct contact with students under any situation. And some basic things like, try not to go to, like, of course, we've been living with this for 8-9 months now. We can't say don't do this, don't do that, but please exercise some caution. Don't go to extremely crowded places, and don't go to these really overwhelming market areas. Try to go to shops and places that you know. So what happens is you're sort of creating a social bubble. You're interacting with the same group of people, and they are also hopefully interacting with the same group of people. So your chances of infection are that much lower. So just try to avoid going to crowded places, theaters, and things like that, which are slightly more risky. And all students had to submit a self-disclosure document saying that none of our family members have been infected or under treatment currently, because that makes us primary contact. And even though we are positive, we might not test positive, or we might be completely asymptomatic and we might not be aware that we have the infection. So that was one thing that was made very clear, that we have to self-declare. If there is somebody in the family, then we are sort of self-isolating ourselves. And one of the major things that is in discussion on a lot of platforms is, because students are not able to meet each other, they're not able to meet faculty. There might be certain uncertainty about future, when will this all end? How many days are we going to live like this? What will happen if I catch an infection? Some family member catches an infection. All of us have been through this. These are extremely anxious periods. And we are not really sure of how to deal with it. I don't think any of us in this group can claim to have lived through something like this. Neither have you guys, nor have we. This is the first time for all of us. So there is a lot of pressure on your mental health. Although we may not realize it, we may not acknowledge it, but there is, during uncertain times like this, stress levels are skyrocketing. And you might just in general feel a little sense of hopelessness or depression, or whatever it is, whatever medical term you want to use. So there is an initiative taken by the Ministry of Education, which talks about Mano Darpan. So I would request all of you also to visit this website. Basically, it is to provide psychological and social support for mental health and well-being during the time of COVID-19, and even beyond, as and when necessary. There are certain other links which are recommended by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which are also worth visiting. We will share this document, these links with you, and you can definitely go through them. And this is, again, please remember that these are protocols which are valid if you were to come to campus. And I am positive that sometime soon or sometime when it is right, you guys will definitely be allowed to come to campus. And in such case, until a time where either all of us are vaccinated or the infection is no longer rampant, we would request you to regularly sanitize your laptops, all your audio devices, your earphones and everything. Any other form of video devices that you may be using, most importantly, your mobile, because that is one electronic equipment that we constantly are in touch with, and any other media accessories. Architecture is a heavily tool heavy course. We use a lot of pencils and T-scales and a lot of these drawing instruments which your faculty might be introducing you to. Most of them are things that can be cleaned. However, now specialized cleaners are also available even for your electronic equipment. So make sure that whenever you do start coming to campus, you stick to your place. You can definitely talk to your friends and everything. If you're in a larger group, try to still maintain distance. Try to meet in the courtyard or in the backyard where there is a nice cafe canteen in the college. So try to interact with people in very well ventilated and open spaces. And while you're in the studio or while you're in the class, try to stick to your spot. Constantly wear a mask. Those of you who can and who really don't mind the intrusion from a face shield, please wear that. If you want to wear gloves, go ahead and wear it. Just be careful that all of these have to be disposed correctly, right? And under such circumstances, please keep your desk, all your equipments, all your things very safe and clean. And sharing is something that we have actively discouraged, because we don't know, somebody might be infected and take it and pass on the infection, because even now a lot that is unknown about this disease. So yeah, totally sharing was discouraged, everybody to carry their own stuff. Parents, of course, for all students, parental consent is absolutely important. So only if your parents consent to send you to the campus and assure us that you will follow these rules and regulations, you will be allowed to come on campus. Again, let me repeat it. This doesn't mean you can start coming to campus now. As and when government and the university announces that other year students can also start coming to campus, you will be allowed to. Your faculty will make you aware of that. You will receive official communication from the principal and the administration at college. And a new set of protocols. They're constantly releasing newer and newer guidelines, right? So changes will be made to this appropriate behavior document and it will be shared with you guys. So wait for instructions. There is no rush, absolutely no hurry. Just wait for instructions, because we are constantly updating. Just 1 minute. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, just be aware that constantly, as and when instructions are changing, they will be communicated to you, and the latest instructions, set of instructions, are the ones that will be considered valid. So yeah, that's about it, I think, more or less. For those of you who will eventually come to campus and opt for contact classes, this is what will be applicable, or something in this zone is what will be applicable. Until further guidelines come, we won't be opening our canteen either. So all of you will have to carry your own food and water and everything. And as the next point states, canteen, library, all of them will be closed as per university guidelines. And what we have been doing, unfortunately, you guys are not aware of what your campus, I think yesterday you had a video tour, but till you visit the campus, I have a feeling you will not really know what the campus looks like or feels like. So we had created activity zones, as in faculty would stick to certain side of the college and students would stick to certain other side of the college. If this is found necessary and if such zones are made, this is a personal request that all of you please follow it. That way it is safer. Safer not only for you, safer even for your faculty and all the other staff members. So staircases will be assigned. We'll tell you that this staircase has to be used by students. This will be restricted to use of faculty. Just try to avoid touching unnecessary surfaces like railings, this, that, and all that, and you guys should be fine whenever you do come back to campus, when you do come to campus. And like we said, UGC and Karnataka government constantly keeps releasing these documents. It is in public domain, so you guys can also definitely access it. And last but not the least, owing to current situation and rapid development of events, newer guidelines are constantly issued by competent authorities. So as and when newer guidelines come, you guys will be updated about whatever is happening. So this is regarding if you guys are allowed to come to campus and when you do come to campus. There is another set that we had prepared, which in my opinion is more relevant, which is, how should you behave online? Because yes, the college is on, our instructions are still on. We are working every day just like we did before COVID. It's just that because it's online, some people tend to take it a little lightly. So it is mostly pertaining to that. So I will quickly run you guys through that as well. So this is the protocol for online classes, which was prepared. Like I told you, the mode of instruction currently is online. It is challenging, but it is definitely a learning opportunity for all of us. We usually do a combination of things. One is the faculty logs in online and expects all of you to be online too. And usually the instructor keeps the camera on, and whenever discussions are going on, you guys will also be asked to switch on your cameras. And so it basically depends on that course instructor. I think you have 5 or 6 instructors who will be teaching you guys. So based on their comfort, they will be doing that. There are certain situations for certain subjects, recorded lectures are uploaded as well. So it will be online, either live classes or recorded lectures. It is usually a combination of these two. But in your case, I am assuming most of your classes will be live. As a college, we have taken a decision that we will be using Google Meet as the official platform. We generally never use any other platform for conducting any classes. So it is always Google Meet. And we maintain, our online learning management system is through Google Classroom. How to use this and all of it, if your faculty have not already instructed you, they will be instructing you in the near future. So these are the only 2 things that we are relying on right now: Google Meet and Google Classroom. All faculty usually tend to use their official IDs, which says msa.edu.in. So all your communication with the faculty is to be restricted to that particular email ID only. And yeah, you just have to follow the instructions that will be given to you by your faculty. All your submissions, etc., will be taken on the same platform. And it is basic etiquette and manners that you turn up on time to class. This is no different than when you come to campus as well. So for some technical glitch, we are saying within 5 or 10 minutes of the class commencing, you should be there. Try not to log in too late, because it becomes a little difficult for faculty, a lot of whom have the habit of speaking extempore. So it just disturbs our our flow of thought when we have to constantly go back to the screen, let somebody in, come back. So this is basic etiquette to make life simpler for you, your classmates, and for us. Please learn to log into class on time. And the concerned faculty definitely has the right to deny you access if you've come too late. For a 1-hour class, if you're logging in 30 minutes late, you will definitely not be allowed into the class. Attendance will be marked. There are various ways each one of us take attendance. So because this is a requirement by the university, you just familiarize yourself with that particular faculty as to how they prefer taking attendance, and then make sure that your attendance is marked. In the past, especially when we began right in the beginning, we were a little lenient about attendance, but now that everybody is used to this online mode, it is as good as attending live classes. I think this must have already been communicated to you. I think most of you have email IDs in this format. This is across the years. It helps us organize your emails and organize your classes, etc. better. So please do not communicate with your faculty from your personal ID. Anything that is related to college and college work, even, in fact, I would suggest that even your in-group communication, whatever, just use your prescribed ID. I think in your case, it will be your name.msa20@gmail.com. So that is something that we follow across the years. All seniors, everybody has this, so it is easier for us to communicate. So that is one thing that you have to be aware of. And use official names, don't write Pinky and, Sweetie and God knows what. Sometimes people tend to use a lot of nicknames or names that really fancy them, but we wouldn't know what you call yourself and your friends call you. So we would, this is an insistence that all of you use your official names as they appear in your official documents in college. And it will also help us in marking your attendance and keeping a check on your submission so that we know who has submitted and your email ID would appear there and things like that. A timetable, I'm sure, will be prepared and shared with you guys carefully, and the classes will be conducted according to that. Please remember that this we keep telling our senior students more. I've been told that you guys are already pretty seriously involved with what is going on. Please know that just because we are not geographically in the same place doesn't mean it is a vacation or it is a holiday or something like that. It's just that only the working conditions have changed, right? Whereas we are all still at work. We are working from campus. You guys will be working from home. So make sure that you treat it with the seriousness you would treat actual classes in college. Okay? Whenever your classes are there, whenever discussions are there, you should have some place just to yourself, some portion of your house which is quiet, which is yours for particular hours during the day. So have your own work corner, have a table, set it up, make sure you have good internet connection, uninterrupted internet connection, make sure your laptop is on charge, or desktop, whatever it is that you guys are using. So 2 things that we request of you in terms of infrastructure is have a good system, good money, something which has uninterrupted internet connection, and power supply, preferably, or if it can run on its own charge, that is also fine. And to have a quiet corner in your house during the class hours, because if we are asking you to switch on your camera or if we are asking you to switch on your mic and there is a lot of background noise, the class becomes ineffective. Okay, so these are also basic etiquettes. It's like, we request you not to talk in class. This is something as basic as that. Okay. So yeah, so timetable, like I told you, will be prepared and shared. So these are some things we are expecting from you guys, and hopefully you already have it in place. If not, you'll act quickly on it and you will have in place. So yeah, students are suggested to use laptops or home computers, as faculty have mentioned. I think in your case, they will also ask you to buy a few drawing instruments and equipments and sheets and pencils. Please make sure you procure all of that, because architecture, like I told you, is a heavily skill-based course. So you have to use your hands and colors and, a lot of that. So you will have to procure all of this. And dates for commencement of on-campus classes will be announced to you guys well in advance. So those of you who are in Mysore, it might be easy. For anybody who has to come from out of town, you will have to coordinate with your parents or your guardians and figure out how you'll come here, etc. That's about it. And again, I think we would like to stress that due to constantly changing situation, newer set of instructions and rules will be coming. And you will have to sort of, keep aware of whatever is happening. Another thing that I would like to say is during your class hours, please don't go out to the market or attend a function or, that is, I mean, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't behave like that. You would be in college and you would be attending classes. Online classes are no different. So please make sure that you're at your desk. Please make your own work desk, decorate it with things if you like. But please make sure that you're already in your position before your class starts. Take it seriously. This is a very formal learning environment. Don't lie down on your sofa and listen to Sandeep sir talk about graphics. That's not respectful at all. So yeah, I think that's about it. If I've missed anything, Balaji, you can add.
I think Professor Shruti had covered everything in great depth, so I don't think there would be any necessity to add anything. Just a few points I would like to add is that although the situation, COVID situation, might look gloomy, the positive news is that in Mysore district, whereas we had originally like 50 or 1,000 cases, according to today's news, in the entire district, it's only 300 odd cases that too stabilized, well in control. So yeah, it looks like a positive news for us. It's sooner it could be possible that we are all open and functioning normally. So until that time, until the further orders, as Professor Shruti kept stressing, please follow all the protocols and stay active, participate very actively. Also in this occasion, I would like to congratulate first year faculty members who have taken a great effort, huge effort, to orient first year students, because we are seeing even experienced architecture students, third year, fourth year students sometimes find it struggling to participate in online class, because the way you work in architecture is very hands on and, very visual, which might sometimes become difficult. In that situation, a lot of preparation has gone into orienting first year students. So I think first year faculty deserve a congratulations for that. And then on the same time, I would like to request all the students to respect that their effort, and then please be very active and take part and be enthusiastic about it. Sooner or later, we are all going to meet in the campus. Thank you so much. Yes, Sandeep, I think we're done.
Can I stop recording?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shruti ma'am, and thank you, Balaji sir, for this wonderful and informative session on COVID-19 protocol and SOP. I hope all of you have gained enough knowledge and you know how to, what are the etiquettes and what is expected out of you online and offline when you get back to campus.
Priyanka, I would just like to add one more point. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Guys, yeah. We have been mostly talking about classes and etc. I understand that you're in first year and you might be coming to college, to get your certificates verified or get some document from the college. First of all, do not crowd the campus, because this I'm speaking for the safety of the people who are working on campus, because we are taking all precautions that we can. So make sure you always wear your mask and come, and whoever is accompanying also should follow all these protocols. Don't resist temperature checks and all of that. I think now we are all used to it, but just still telling you, there is a person appointed for it, so he'll be checking your temperature, and please make sure you sanitize your hands and all of that. And try not to crowd. I get that you're excited, you want to get your family and friends and you want to show them the campus and all of that, but please wait until a time that campus is fully open, because we don't like saying no to you guys and then we will be forced to say no if too many people come. So preferably just one more person with you, or if you're coming alone and confident of coming alone, great. And even then, if you are extremely enthusiastic and you really want to get a feel of the campus, try to stick to the corridors. Just come, look at what is happening from outside, just peep into the studio a little and go back. Try not to get into any other areas except for the entrance and all of that, because we have all sort of formed a social bubble. We usually only interact with each other. So don't make us say no. We don't like saying no, but just be responsible. Even if you were to come on campus and you want to just take a quick tour, stick to common areas. Don't go to any personal areas like staff room and all of that. Just avoid doing that and you should be fine. Yeah.
No, adding to the same point, I think it's always better to take an appointment and come. Before you come, please take an appointment. Inform us so that everybody knows that there are people going to be here in the campus. Okay. Thank you.
You can continue, Priyanka. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti and Balaji once again. Okay, so we are winding up the session now, and we'll be back by 3. You can take a quick break. Since it's just a 15-minute break, I request you to continue staying online. You can just freshen up and get back by 3. I hope that is fine. Sandeep sir?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, Sandeep.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
See you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you very much for your time.